Gerhard, let's just do a quick injury update. You were hoping Emil will be okay for this weekend. Is that still on track?
Yes, this is still on track. Emil is back, everything is good, and he is available on Saturday.
So positive news in terms of the rest of the squad. Anything else picked up, or any of those that have been injured anywhere close to coming back?
No, all the old topics what we have with around Birdie, Knighty and Joe Williams, Harry Quannick. Of course, we have some players, they are not available on Saturday, but they work very hard on the comeback, and the other players available if nothing happened between.
Yeah, and obviously you want the more players you've got available, the more options you've got and all the rest of it, but the way that this squad has dealt with injuries in a variety of positions for, relatively, you're talking a couple of months for a lot of these ones, has been really impressive.
Yeah, of course we can speak about how impressive is it that the boys work, I would say, so really good together and really good connected on the same time. I am very unhappy how we have a situation like that. So this is also something what makes me doubtful that we have in the end players not available, and we work hard that we have a better picture in this way, but right now of course it's a very small roster, and and especially the last game we could see how close was it also in the end to bring the points home, and also how we have to deal in moments like that with a little bit a different setting to bring the points home. And I would like that we have in the end always in every game fresh legs that we can play our typical style of play.
And I suppose longer term, you've had, I think it's 5 or 6 players that have started every match, and while that's great for continuity, sooner or later it would be nice to give them a little bit of a break.
Yeah, of course this would be perfect when we can handle the load program always on a high level, that we give every single player the load that we can hold every single player fit and ready, and of course very committed with the style of play what we want. So this would be the perfect world, but every single club has a challenge. We are not alone with injuries or something, so every single club has to do with that, and we have to deal with that, and the boys deal on a really high level with the challenge to have not so many players available, especially in the position like midfield in the center. We have a little bit problems there, and but on the same time it's of course also advantage when you have in the end players are very close connected, how we want to play, and so in all directions you have to pay a price, but also you have to sometimes a little bit advantage, and this is of course that we see that this group of players are very good connected, and they knows exactly at the moment how we want to defend in our box, a little bit higher up on the field or in high pressing moments.
And I completely understand that sort of Saturday's game is not the way you want to be playing all the time, because you want more of the ball and to be more front-footed. But how happy were you that you found a different way to win a game at the end of a 3-game week with a small squad? You probably knew those players were going to be pretty tired, and you've got to problem solve.
Yes, of course, this is very, very important that we have to think pragmatical, what help us in the end to win games, and then it's sometimes a little bit closer in our typical identity, and sometimes it's a little bit special. And I would say the third game in this rhythm was, I would say, a little bit a different style, but in the end this helped us to bring the points home, and I think in this way we have to be pragmatical and also flexible to play sometimes a little bit differently, but what bring us in the end success, but also protect the players for a new injury.
Yeah, because a lot of head coaches, a lot of managers have their way of playing, and it very seldom varies. They will stick to their plan almost no matter what, and I think the fact that you're looking to make those changes when circumstances dictate, I think fans are really happy to see that.
I'm not a coach with a dogmatism or something, so I want to do something what help the group in the end to win games. And of course I have my big conviction how I want to play, how we want to create in our home stadium atmosphere that also the fans realize the good football game. So on the same time, we have to be flexible and ready for a little bit different style, what help us in the end. And the boys, show us a big variability in our picture.
Yeah, and well, winning football definitely always helps that, doesn't it? And I thought at the end of the game, you sort of see the scenes, and it was the same with Southampton and then back to Norwich in the last week. That bond that developed over the last couple of years, this season seems to have gone to another level. They really do. They know that you're giving everything, and that is massively appreciated, I think.
Yeah, I think in the end, the season is young. To hold the performances on this level, I think this is so the challenge. So now it's the next game, and Stoke is also, I would say, a massive opponent in this league with really good individual quality, but also with a very, very well organized team. So in this direction, we have the chance again to show more our typical style, and of course consistency is right now, I would say, give everyone the answer in this direction, that we can go again on a really high level. And when I saw our training sessions the last few days, this was really, really good to see. So the boys are super hungry. The boys want more, and what I say many times right now. So the energy from this group and the spirit don't come in a relaxing moment. So I cannot feel afraid, or I have no fear in this way. So this group is crazy. They are super hungry, and they want the next point.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that is belief, isn't it? They've been in the right part of the table pretty much all this season, at the end of last season. That belief that what you're doing is working, and if they keep doing it, something special might happen is powerful.
Yes, of course. Always when you have an identity, and the identity brings us in the end good performances and points, the belief is growing, and you must find artificial words or something. So everything is crystal clear how we want to play. I think every single player knows what I expect in a single position, but also team-wise. And I think the mission is clear, and the boys stay fully committed behind.
Very best of luck.
Thank you.
Gerhard, I just wanted to touch on what you said about injuries there. You mentioned that you're unhappy with the situation. Can you put your finger on quite why these injuries are occurring? Is it as simple as a bit of a different change of style with your coaching, or is it just part and parcel of the Championship?
Of course, this is of course a really high load of games, and this is of course something where we have to be also better, and we have to improve also in our direction, how we can stop re-injuries better. I think in this direction, everyone has here a big mission. It's not only that we play really good football on a really high level. We have a little bit a smaller roster available like other teams, and we have to be in every department on a really high level. How we deal with injuries, how we bring players back, and in this direction, of course, we can improve.
Is that a case of, would you rather give players that bit more extra time than like we've seen with Max before, and even Emil at the weekend, just to make sure and make those sort of tweaks?
I think we did many things right, but on the same time, in the one or other reintegration, I would say we could do it maybe differently. After something, we are always smart and we can speak clever. Yeah? But in the end, I think we should learn about something, and we have to be very, very professional how we bring the boys back, with which load, with which program, and we never should forget the intensity. What I expect from them when they jump on the field is a little bit differently like before, and in this direction I have no problems when we need a little bit a longer time, but then it's a safety way and they are safety back, and this is what I expect.
Obviously it's a boost to have Emil back. I'm sure you're not going to tell us your team, but is that hard? Not a case of him coming straight back in when Sinclair's playing as well? He's probably got a bit of a fight on his hands for that starting role.
I think this is, first of all, I'm super happy that Emil is back, and we have with Sinclair a player. He is also in the last few weeks on a really good level. So right now, it's a really good situation, and we need in the end competition in every position, and we need players on a really good level, and we will see how the weekend works, and also is Emil a starter player, is Emil maybe more a player from the bench, we will see, and I will decide this on Friday, that we have on Saturday in the end the best setup for this game day.
Just on strikers, we saw Fally come on for the first time in a little while on Saturday. I just wonder where you feel he's at the moment and what you made of his appearance from the bench.
Yeah, we could see that in the end he has not much game time in the last few months, and you can see also his level of football fitness needs a little bit of improvement, but we have a big belief in him, and he has in the end also a potential that he can help us in the end. But of course we have to bring him more and more in game time, that he's in the end also ready to help the group.
I think it's something Brian mentioned at the fans forum, how challenging that can be in a division as competitive as the Championship to give players minutes. Is it a possibility you could play in like the 21s to get some more minutes? Is that something you've considered?
Yes, we think about that. That in the end that also we could use the under 21s a little bit more for the one or other player, that the football fitness grows on a higher level. I think you can train, of course, many things, also isolated runs, but in the end you need 90 minutes, and the 90 minutes is the best help to jump back in the real world of football, and especially of the fitness what we want.
So I think when we spoke on Saturday, you mentioned how Sinclair Armstrong's a bit of a role model at the moment for those players who haven't had as many minutes. I guess that shows that the pathway is there for Fally to come in and make a real impact.
It's for everything, for every single player is this the pathway, and the clear message, when you believe strong in yourself, also in difficult moments, and this is, I think every single player has times, maybe you're a starter player, maybe you come from the bench, and you have to be in moments like that, in times like that, you have to be ambition, and you have to be with the long breath on the way, and not moaning. So in this way I would say Sinks did a really good job. We help him, like also the other players, they have not so much game time at the moment, and then it's a question of time when you can help the group, and Sinclair right now, he did it on a really good way.
I wanted to ask you about Hirakawa as well, because he's probably someone similar who's not had many minutes. Where do you feel he's at the moment? What is it that he needs to do to make that next step, do you feel? Yeah,
of course, we also realized his big power, and this is of course in the last third, when he comes with his dribbling moments, combination moments. He has in this way, he has of course power, he is very mobile. It's very difficult to defend him. On the same time, we have to look more which position he can have the biggest leverage, and we try more in the training right now to bring him in a more offensive direction, like the 10 or a striker position, that he can use his mobility more to be offense-wise for us helpful.
I guess that's the challenge for him, is that you've got two number 10s at the moment who are playing some really good stuff.
Yes, that's the situation, and the reason why we are in the Championship and on the playoff positions, that we have of course in every single position really good players, and the standard is really high. So it's not so easy at the moment to jump in, or you have to deliver, and of course Armstrong show us in a really good way that you can do it with good performances, and this is I would say always the biggest ticket to bring the coach under pressure in the decision which one should play.
What have you made of Stoke starts the season? You mentioned there that they've started really well, probably a bit higher in the table than people would have expected at this stage. What have you made of them so far?
Very organised, I would say, very, very organised, and top in transition. So they are a little bit in our way. I would say we have to be super focused in gegenpressing, how we organized our team when we are in possession or we come in transition. This could be in the end so a little bit the ping pong situation when we are not clear and controlled. So yeah, this will be a really tough game on Saturday, but we could see also the one or other weakness from them, and we have to use that.
Do you like those sort of games? I think you mentioned on Saturday that sometimes those basketball games aren't always your favourites.
No, I don't like that so much when we have basketball moments in the game, in a football game. So I like it more that we have more control. But this is sometimes when you are not good staggered or you have not maybe the bravery what you want in some moments, then this could look more in a ping pong direction, and I don't like that so much.
When you've started a block as well as you have this gap between international breaks with 3 wins, does that give you that hunger now to kick on, and you could be in a really, really good place, couldn't you, in just over a week's time, 2 weeks' time?
Yes, I think for every single one it's clear. So what can happen when we can reproduce moments like that again. But I would say we have to be super focused in the next, and always I think this is our way. We look in the next game, do everything for a really good match plan, and bring the right players on the field. I think it's nothing special. I think we need a really good energy on Saturday and a really good setup in our from the match plan, what helps the boys in the end to create the next win.
Amazing. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Gerhard, to take you back to the comments you made about injuries. You've been a football manager for a long time. I wouldn't call it a crisis just yet, but arguably as we sit here today, you've got 5 potential players who could be in the starting 11 injured. Where does it rank in your career? Is it up there with one of the worst situations you've seen as a manager that you're trying to deal with?
I think, from this standpoint, you have always to deal with injuries. And I would also say the last few years we have always something to change. And I can remember also my time when I was coaching the Champions League, and we play midweek and on the weekend, and we have also in the world of Red Bull injuries, and then you have to deal with that, and then other players get chances, and this is the reality why we have a bigger roster. So we have to use other players, and my roster, I think, I have a big trust in them. So we can deal, but in the end, of course, 5 starter players out makes in the end a difference. We have to do everything that we bring them quick back, but safe back. And I think this must be, and this is for us super important, that we have in the end not rosters like other big teams in the league. But I would say we deal at the moment really good with that, and again, you can see when the match plan, the tools, the boys understand on the right way. With this energy, you can be also really dangerous for every opponent.
And I suppose the question fans will be asking, obviously, is just a couple of months' time, the January transfer window's open. That's an opportunity to add to a roster. It'll be here before you know it. But have you had conversations around that already, and sort of the issues that you're suffering at the moment as a squad?
Yes, I'm in a really good exchange with my owner. We are searching at the moment for the one or other player. He can help us. So we have a big trust in this group. We have to bring players back from injuries, and then we want to use, of course, the transfer window in January. And I would say also our owner is hungry this season.
If you look at where you're sitting in the table, and Dan mentioned it, 3 wins out of the last 3, going into a big match this weekend. Despite all those injuries, though, how are you feeling, and how's the atmosphere here this week?
I would say a really good atmosphere, of course. I think we have right now a really good run in the back. The boys are super motivated. The mood is on a really good level. So the position in the table looks nice. And I would say the performance. The boys realize and right now exactly what we want and how we want to play, and this gives, I would say, every single player a safety feeling, that we are here on the same page, but we have many to-dos, also that we improve many things better to find more control, to find domination, also how we can break momentum from the opponents better. So we speak and think in more directions, but I can always feel the boys are so learnable, and they take everything to improve, and I think this is so a big signal for this group of players that they are so learnable and so coachable.
And I suppose this is a season where we're seeing teams who were relegated from the Premier League struggling this year, teams who were promoted from League One doing really well, sort of being echoed across all the pyramid at the moment, isn't it? But do you feel like there is a real opportunity this season? It's not going to be won by a runaway team and the other teams chasing promotion. I know it's early, but you're saying you're looking at the table and it looks good. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I would say that the momentum is really good, and I think we invest a lot in this way, that it's not a coincidence that we are in the table on this spot at the moment. But you show is the consistency over a whole season. I think this makes the big difference. I can remember how often the race will start, the big race start in December, in January. You have so many games and so many things can happen in a very short time, and that's changed the table in all directions. So many clubs always surprised every season. Right now is a completely different picture like 2 or 3 months before. So I think, yes, table nice at the moment, but not more. We have to invest, we have to be clear. We are not flying, we need what we have to do, and I think this is right now super important, and we believe in us. We know we have a really good quality here on players. We have a really good mix of players, a little bit younger players, experienced players, they know the championship really well, and I think in this way it's a really good mix of players what we have here, and we will fight, of course, and it's not always only money makes the difference. It makes the team and the teamwork and the spirit and the style of play. And I think we have some interesting rule breakers. And right now, until now, we could see that many teams have a little bit topics to handle that.
And finally, obviously, back on the road this weekend. There's been some eye-catching results. Some of the performances of the season, people are arguing, particularly the first day at Sheffield United, obviously, and things like that. How confident are you heading into that one and being back on the road?
Yeah, we like it also to be away on the 200 points. Yeah, so we make not a big difference. Of course, we love it when we are in our home stadium and we have the fans behind us. But also we enjoy it away when we have. And every game day away was really good, really good support from our fans. Yeah? So in more directions also we like it to play away, and we make no different. So to make the points at home like a duty, and away it's a coincidence to pick up the points. So we have to win at home and away with a style of play what makes the opponents problems, and we make from the mindset zero different, and I think this is maybe something what we change a little bit like was it in the last year.
Thanks for your time, best of luck.